we're live here. Let me just double check. Hang on, give me a second. I've just got to pause it on the other side. Sometimes it goes live, and then on the other side, I can hear myself, and it echoes. Here we go. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my 8:15 p.m. Wednesday night live stream. Today, I have a very interesting guest. I sort of came to know of this individual through another YouTube channel. You guys should check out the other channel. It's known as Unframe of Mind. Daniel Wagner is my friend, and so for those who are watching, this is for real. And do you really, I'm sorry, Hogartha, do you really go out in public looking the way you do?
Oh, am I on? Okay. Yeah, I do. I don't really get out that much. Why? I mean,
do you get a lot of stares?
I'm sorry. What did you? I didn't hear me. I didn't hear the last question.
I said, do you get a lot of stares? Do people stare at you a lot?
Yes, constantly on the bus. I have to take the bus. I take public transportation when I go places, and it's very common. Yeah, I mean, it's uncomfortable, and I noticed that it happens more than when I wear makeup. My therapist said I should beautify myself. I'd feel better. And then I find when I go out places, I especially get a lot of men staring at me. It's very uncomfortable.
Okay. Maybe if you weren't wearing like a colorful wig and you tried to make yourself appear more masculine than whatever your image is trying to be, you wouldn't feel so out of place.
I'm a non-binary, right? But I'm a non-binary, misgendered woman. I'm not going to fit a social construct of any appearance just to please, the people around me. I mean, and it's I don't go out much, and I just take it in stride.
Okay, but maybe you could go out more if you looked more masculine rather than gender non-conforming, which is, I think, what you're trying to do.
But yeah, but at what cost to my dignity and my principles? I mean, I wouldn't.
What is the principle behind colorful hair and Dame Edna glasses and female tops? Where is the principle behind that? Like, I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. I just don't get it.
It's for me. It's to live my truth.
Then do it at home, so you don't make other people uncomfortable, and you don't have to deal with the snickers. And it wouldn't be nice to feel like everyone's staring at you.
Yeah, but I mean, but then I could look at myself if I just conform to what people want. I mean, I'm just living my best life. I mean, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I don't always wear this hair either. I have other hair that I wear that isn't so colorful. I just wanted to show my pride in this interview. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you approve of like the gay agenda? Are you someone who like marches like gay prides and stuff?
No, I would if I could, but I'm disabled, so I'm not privileged enough to do that.
Sorry, you're trans and you're also disabled.
I'm not. I was a misgendered female, and I have chronic fatigue syndrome.
Can you please explain why do you keep using that term? I don't really know it.
I'm sorry?
What does the term misgendered female mean as an identity? I don't quite understand. You've used that term quite a few times.
When I was born, the doctor misgendered me and said I was a male. I'm really a female, so I was raised as a male for the majority of my life. As I got older, I realized I was a female, just from the way I felt, but also anatomically. I have a large clitoris, and it was mistaken as a penis.
Okay. I didn't expect you to say that. Well, I hope you don't mind, but I'm not going. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, I'm just double checking. I hope this doesn't offend you too much, but I'm not going to use she. I don't think I'm going to use those pronouns with you just because I don't believe you're really authentically trans. Like, I recently had a trans person on my channel and we have a social understanding and a social construct. I did refer to Dana as she because there are particular criteria that need to be undergone. And you need to, like, a certain box, you need to do a social transition, a legal transition, a medical transition. I'm not going to say she for you because you are obviously male and I think you have deeper issues.
I just had a really misunderstanding of what this interview was going to be like. Maybe
I'm
we could
sorry.
just conduct this without referring to pronouns, if you could at least grant me that.
I mean, I can try, but sometimes it's quicker to say he, she. To have to think so much about one's language to tiptoe around I don't see the need for it. But of course, I can attempt it. It's like I'm a Christian, and so when people say like, "Oh, Jesus Christ," and they blaspheme, I don't like that. But people don't need to be swearing like that. People don't need to blaspheme. But the reality is you were born a male. So why would I? Yeah.
Well, you can call me Hogatha. You could use a generic term, or just you said you would try. I mean, I believe you. I mean, I understand these are things that I have to deal with, and I have dealt with, and I'm getting better at dealing with them. That's why I go to therapy for
Were
this.
you? Have you ever been to therapy for, like, were you sexually molested as a child or something?
No, I wasn't. I was raised by my grandparents. No, I wasn't.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to know anything about myself? I'm an Australian YouTuber. I know that we only briefly got to talk prior to this interview. My mother is Colombian, my father is Spanish, and I'm quite uh, proud of my heritage and all that kind of stuff. But what are your thoughts on what do you think of Trump? Like,
What is it? So I don't. How do you pronounce your name? Is it like Dia, like in day? Like, does your
yeah,
name mean day? Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty. I haven't heard that. I have a lot of Mexicans here too, and I've never heard of that name Dia, but I know that it means the word day because they do a lot of the like Dias de los Muertos celebrations here, and I think it's beautiful. You have a beautiful culture.
Are you talking about Dia de los Muertos?
Yeah. Oh, you said it so much nicer than I did.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not my culture, but I appreciate it.
You don't practice that?
No, no, I don't at
Oh,
all. Yeah.
okay.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself. I think everyone is really interested in you. How long have you been doing why did you do the interview with Unframe of Mind? Like, how long have you been doing those sorts of little interviews? And why do
Well,
you get out there?
I'm sorry.
Why
What
are
was the
you
last?
why are you getting out there? Why is your voice, why are you out there?
Well, it's weird because it all started. My therapist said that I need to get out more, and usually using social media would be something to help me, make baby steps out to be more of a productive citizen out in the world. So I have been using social media, and I've been meeting a lot of great people online. and I just started doing videos, and people just really like them. And I just, talk about me, and I have my lesbian girlfriend, Marquina. I talk about
A
us and
lesbian
people.
girlfriend?
I'm sorry.
You have a lesbian girlfriend
Yes, and I
and you're a man.
people. Well, I mean, we established, I'm a woman and you don't believe it, but I mean, your belief isn't going to change by the way I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if I feel like I'm a donkey, does that suddenly make me a donkey?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we could change species. I mean,
Yeah, so you
that's,
have a line. You suddenly have a line.
I'm sorry.
I said you suddenly have a line. You suddenly have a standard.
Well, I mean, I mean, DS, this is something, it's a medical fact. I mean, I don't understand. I can't believe that we still have these conversations in 2019, really. I mean, so many of us are coming forward, and I mean, the world is changing, and a lot of people really need to see that. I mean, the world is changing, and the people who have been held down and silenced for so long are finally emerging, and I don't think it's fair that people just really try to hold us down. And yes, I do have a lesbian lover. I am a lesbian, and I'm a woman.
Okay. Okay. Continue your story.
Well, okay, so through therapy, I've been getting out more. So I do like my trips to Walmart. I go to my therapy session. I have a woman's meeting group that I go to, and we discuss things that we've dealt with throughout the day. Like you had mentioned, the people staring at me and the male gaze that I receive on the bus. We discuss these things, and we cry, we play drums, and we hug, and then we go like bi-weekly.
Hmm. Okay. Sorry, my phone's going off. I'm going to put it on silent. Um. Okay, that's interesting. And so how long have you been with your lesbian partner?
5 years.
5 years? That's
Yes.
a long time. Are you guys going to get married?
I don't, and it's odd that you would think that I would want to do that after, all the brave people who earned us our rights. But I don't think I will, because in the end, I don't know if I really want the government involved in my relationship. And
Fair enough.
but I want the option. I want the option that everybody else has to marry the person I
Uh,
love.
okay. However, in saying that though, the brave people that came before you that you referenced earlier, they're the ones that sort of imposed um, gay marriage, I suppose you could say, uh, at all. So it is marriage has now been given to same-sex attracted couples, even though you are a man with a woman. So do you know what I mean? Like, how is they're already involved? Is my point. They're already involved in your relationship, whether you choose to acknowledge.
Well, I just don't see the need. I mean, with all the divorce and stuff, and I just, like I said, I like the option, but I can just, we can live, harmoniously together without, the blessing of the government.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what are your thoughts on abortion?
That I'm going to tell you, I'm very conflicted with that because my mother attempted to abort me,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry. Horrible.
yeah, she attempted to abort me, and so I don't know really. I believe in a woman's right to choose still. I mean, because I mean, I'm a viable human, and I wasn't really injured, but but there is a part of me that thinks, was it meant to be? Should I be here? But you know what? I do think I have a purpose, and I think I'm fulfilling that purpose, even right here on your
Yeah, you
show,
do.
speaking to
Yeah,
people
no,
about
you
my,
have a purpose.
yeah. So I don't,
No, sweetheart, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. I believe that. I think everyone does. But if your mother tried to abort you and you still believe in a woman's right to choose, You
But she was
have,
a very troubled person. She died when I was 18 months old.
dear God. I think that's why you're this.
Well, um, I'm just, you know what, I have had a rough go of it and stuff, and but you know what, I'm living the best life that I've lived since I've realized who I am, and I've always realized who I was, but really the bravery to be who I am and the acceptance, the softening of society to allow me to be who I am.
Hmm. Okay. What are your thoughts on Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner, you know what, I've never even considered Caitlyn Jenner, which is odd, you would think, but I'm not a trans. I mean, she's part of the community. But you know, I think as an adult, she could do what she wants. I mean, you know, she's made her way through life, and and she's been successful, and had a family and everything. And I think what she could do what she's doing something for her now. In her golden years, she's gonna live her life and be the best version of herself. And you know what? I say more power to her. Um, I just I support her, even though I mean I don't understand being trans, but I under yeah, I believe that she should do whatever what she wants to do.
Did you just say you don't understand being trans?
Well, no, and I've explained it. I was a misgendered person. I am a female. I'm not taking medications. I'm not doing surgeries. I'm doing nothing. I am living as the woman that I am meant to be.
Okay. Well, the thing is though, Caitlyn Jenner is trans, but to his credit or her credit, she's actually doing things to appear female. You can't expect you, you seem really confused. I don't know how to navigate it. Like I don't really know how to address it. And I don't want to be nasty to you because you seem like a big teddy. You seem like a big teddy bear that just is looking for all the answers in the wrong place. Like, do you read the Bible?
I have my own religion. I believe in a goddess. I don't, believe in the patriarchal systems of religion.
You don't believe you believe that God is part of a patriarchal system,
Yes, and I believe that the true origin of us comes from a woman, a goddess.
but man was created first.
Well, yeah, according to them. I mean, I mean, really. I mean, you expect men to come second place in their own story. I mean, let's be real. I mean, misogyny is a real thing, and toxic masculinity is a real thing. I mean, why can't we believe that it existed back then?
Um, do you so who is this goddess? Like, where does this come from?
It's just the feminine energy. You can call it Mother Earth. You can call it, whatever you want. But I feel that the creator is a feminine source and a feminine energy, and it's just beautiful and it's warm. Where I find, the patriarchal religions to be very, oh, I don't know, uh, there's lots of violence and control and domination and just a lot of, I believe that I'm going to follow something that I think is beautiful and peaceful. Makes me feel good.
Okay, okay. Well, what about I don't mean to be rude, even though I'm sure I've already offended you 100 times. Do you pee sitting down or do you pee standing up?
I, you have a, I be sitting down like every lady does.
Sorry. Do you really? I'm sorry. I know I've triggered you. I can tell. You're not a lady. Okay. Where do you shop?
I go to Walmart. I have a fixed income,
Are
so
you
I can't.
okay, Hogwarts?
I don't have. You know, you know what? This is the funny thing about this is I agreed to go ahead and be okay with the pronouns, you know, and I even tried to compromise, and then you call me Hogwarts, and you know that. Okay, you asked me where I shop. I shop at Walmart because I'm on a fixed income, so that's all I can afford. I'm not privileged enough to be able to be employed, so I can make more money, so I don't have to shop at Walmart.
Aren't you a white male? Like, you should have all the privilege in the world.
No, I'm a part of the LGBT community. I'm a female and I'm disabled.
Do you have a wheelchair?
No, I have a mobility scooter and a walker.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the problem? Like, do you have like a limp or something?
I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I tire out very easily.
Oh, okay. And what do you do for work? Like, I mean, obviously you have to work from home because you don't get out, but like, what kind of jobs can you do from home? Like, do you do like internet surveys and get paid with that kind of stuff? Or like, do you do like, um, yeah, like what do you do? Just curious.
In
Do you
the
ride?
in,
Are you a rider?
in the United States, we have disability insurance, or what they call SSI, like Social Security insurance. If you're disabled, that you get paid a check. Like you know, some people call it a welfare. I just say, you know, I'm just not privileged enough to work.
Okay. Well, the thing with that is that here in this country, and me in particular, I'm the daughter of immigrants, right? And so I believe that if you're going to like get a citizenship or whatever in another country, you should be working. And so you're lucky because you belong to one of the greatest countries on earth. I'm sure that's debatable. I'm sure you have an opinion on that. But my point is that yeah. Oh, we'll get into that. But my point is that maybe someone who seems chronic fatigue, I don't really know what that entails, so I can't comment too much on that, and I won't disrespect you regarding that subject because I don't really know anything about it. But it seems to me that rather than picking up disability checks, which I'm sure you could do, you could also work at the same time, right?
I don't know what else. It takes a lot of attention and energy just to get around, and I don't know what I could do. But you
I
know,
already
it's fun.
told you what you could do. I told you that
What?
earlier. I told you what you could do earlier when we started to not get
The
that
what?
attention. Don't dress or looking like you do, and then you won't get the attention. I already said that earlier.
No, but it's not even that. I'm talking, it's very hard for me to just even hold my own body weight and to get around.
How big are you? I don't really know. I don't know pounds, but I know kilos. But like, how heavy are you?
I, God, this has been an extremely personal interview. I mean, I'm shocked to hear it from another female. I mean, I am in American pounds. I weigh 300 pounds.
Oh, I don't know what
I'm
that means.
I'm I'm a full-figured woman.
Okay. So like, if you had to go on an airplane, would you have to buy another seat?
I think I could fit in one if I sit on an aisle seat. I've done it but it was a while ago. I had to fly about 10 years ago, and I had to get an aisle seat so I could put my leg and part of my body in the aisle. But even then, people would walk by and bump into me. So maybe now, maybe they require to. I don't know. But I am large. I am a large person. But you know, you were speaking about
Can you hear
immigrants
me?
and how I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. Sorry. Whatever. Yeah, just the last thing you said, whatever the last sentence was, it did break up a little bit.
Oh, I was talking about how uh, you're saying the United States and immigration and stuff the greatest country. But you know, I live in California, and not just 90 miles away from me, there are brown people in cages being held captive, and some are dying in some cases. from disease and from the mistreatment and the deplorable conditions down there at the border.
Well, that's bad. Yeah, of course. But that doesn't make those isolated incidents doesn't make America overall like a horrible country, generally speaking. It's just that it has things it needs to work on. Are you a fan of Trump?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Why is that?
Because he's a bigot, he's a racist, he's a sexist, he's a homophobe. You could check every box when it comes to him.
Well, how is he a racist?
He's a racist because it's clearly it can't be any more obvious the reason why he won't let the immigrants come in here. He only targets brown or black people. He's never
Well,
once said, "Oh, Sweden, we're going to put a ban on Sweden," or "We're going to put a ban on Great Britain of all places." I'd never do that, And it's like, when it comes to black countries, sorry, Qatar, you're not allowed here. Oh, Muslim countries, yeah, Muslim countries, you're not allowed here either. Isn't that kind of funny how it's just never white Christian people?
because the country is white Christian.
You know what?
As in, sorry, I'm actually wrong about that. I didn't. What were you going to say? Keep going.
Well, in my part, I live in the Southwest, and
Mm.
we are very, very influenced by your people, and the language and the culture, and it's just we have such a diverse society down here. And actually, I live in a Latino majority city.
But when you say my people, what do you specifically mean?
The Mexican, Hispanics,
Oh,
the the Spanish speakers.
but do you realize that a lot of the Mexicans are doing horrible things? Like they're raping Mexican Americans. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. If they are the majority of the population, of course you're going to see their numbers in crime, be more. I mean, it's kind of like in my country, the majority of people on welfare are white. You know what I mean? But people always think it's the brown people who are on welfare because we have, it's, I mean, honestly, and I'd like to know how much really racism plays into that. I could turn on my TV right now, and they're going to show a Hispanic person killing somebody or robbing a store, as if there's never a white person that robs a liquor store in Southern California. It just,
Very angry. They get very heated.
I'm sorry.
The Latino people get very heated. They get very angry. Mexican men beat their women quite harshly, actually.
Well, I mean, I'm sure every culture has their problems,
Agree.
Um,
Agree on that. Yes.
yeah, but you can't really, it's really hard to say. I'm not one to tell people of color how to live their life. I mean, I don't want to impose you know, my privilege upon them and assume that, because, people come from other cultures and they may, do certain things that maybe my culture doesn't do, or we've evolved into not doing. They continue to follow their same patterns and stuff, and I just think it's for them to work out. I trust them as intelligent humans to figure out their own problems in their culture.
So do you think it's wrong for one culture to tell another culture that they're doing the wrong thing or that they are not good enough or whatever the words are?
Oh yeah, I would never do that ever. No. I
Okay.
don't. I could never tell them. Because they already see me as a white person as thinking, that I'm better than them, or they look at me as a threat, or they think I'm smarter than them, or I have more in life than them.
Maybe you are
And,
smarter than some of them.
but
Maybe
I don't want them. But I don't. But I think if that's the case, I mean, I don't want them to feel that way. I don't want to discourage them. I want them to think, you could be better.
okay.
You could be like everybody else, and you know. I don't want to.
Well, I agree with that. I
Yeah, but I think as me as a white person especially, it would be very racist for me to interject my perspective.
So you know that you're a white person. That's one
Yes, I
reality
am
you
a
seem to be aware of yourself.
yes, I am a white person. Although I did do my DNA, my ancestry, and I am 1% African. And I am very proud of that too.
Cool, you should be. Like, I did
Yeah,
those tests too. They're fun. Yeah.
yeah, and I was really delighted. I'll tell you what really excited me is to find out that I was like 19% Spanish, and I'm like, I have I have something in common with the Mexicans, that I live with, and I just think it's beautiful that we could just share things culturally, and I could actually am a part of it. And I'm actually, it was my people who actually, went there to Mexico and, brought them, the things that they enjoy now and the rich culture that they have. And I was glad that my people could do that for them. And I'm just glad I'm a part of it.
Well, I'm glad that brings you joy. I really think you should look for Joy's label or something. Oh, that's right. I remember what I was going to say. Did you know that there
Yeah.
are other cultures that are cannibals? They eat their young or they eat their enemies, like in New Guinea, like the tribes of like the tribal people of like somewhere. I don't know where specifically.
Oh yeah. There are rich, beautiful cultures everywhere. And
No,
I'm
no, no.
sorry.
It's not a rich. It's not a rich, beautiful culture. I'm saying that we in the West are better than they are cannibalizing.
You'll so you're but
It's
even
a beautiful culture, dude.
but you as a Latina woman, you see yourself as
Hang on, I
privileged
can't
and
hear you.
you as a Latina woman see yourself better than them? Like you don't see that, you're oppressed and, for being a female, a brown female, you don't see I mean, I don't get it. I
No,
would think that you would feel something in common with them. Yeah, I think you'd feel something in common with them as an oppressed person.
I'm not
You don't
oppressed. Why am I oppressed? Can you explain that to me?
because you're a brown female in the Western world. You're naturally oppressed.
I'm
I mean,
not.
maybe is it different in Australia? Because I'll tell you, in the United States, if you're a brown female, then you're going to scrub toilets and pick strawberries. I mean, that's just the way that the white people look at, brown people here. I don't know, is it the same in Australia? It's the there's it, it's frozen up. Did you hang up on me? It's frozen.
My mum is very. Hello?
Oh, I don't know if you could hear me, but I'll
Can you hear
wait.
me? Can you see me? Am I buffering?
Yeah, I can't hear anything, and you're completely frozen.
Hello?
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know what's happening. I'm not at home. I'm in New South Wales, and so my internet's obviously being funny. I apologize.
Oh no, it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
I did see that you said something about your mother.
I said my I did. I said my mother does scrub toilets. You're absolutely accurate with that stereotype, and she's very good at it.
Well, the funny thing is and there's nothing good. There's nothing wrong with honest hard work, really.
Oh, I
And people,
we agree.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. So I'm glad your mother has that opportunity. I mean, but I hope that does she is she forced to do that?
No, it's her job. We're not oppressed. I think you're really struggling with this concept. We are not oppressed. We have all the opportunities in the world of everyone else.
And how has Donald Trump affected politics in Australia? Do you
Yeah,
or
I
do the
can.
not are the Nazis and the KKK are they active in Australia?
I believe that there are tiny, small contingencies of them, like tiny, but I don't really personally know anyone that wants to hang a black person or that genuinely wants to, shoot a Jewish person in the head or anything like that. That's not a thing here. It may be, but I don't know anyone who thinks that way. All of the neo-Nazi types in Australia are actually not neo-Nazis. They're just named that. That's what they're called by the mainstream media, but they're actually completely, what's the word? They're mischaracterized by the media, and they're actually just race realists, which is, I think, slightly different, or they're nationalists, which people seem to think means Nazi, but it doesn't. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but it does mean that I can compartmentalize it.
Well, that's what the words that go around here is nationalism, and I don't recall hearing that in my lifetime. And I think it's what do people call it? A dog whistle for meaning white supremacy, and I don't know. And I just think we're in dangerous times, and it doesn't seem like it's as bad there in Australia as it is here with the oppression and the racism.
Sure. Can you see the screen there? Would you mind
Margot,
answering
ask. I don't have an opinion.
on Israel? No? Okay.
Well,
Sure.
that person deliberately, they're trolling me. That person's trolling me.
Oh, that's actually my one of my moderators.
Yeah, they structured their question in a certain way that'd be offensive to me.
Well, that was a lot politer than what I've been to you. Do you mind, Hogartha, would you mind if, or actually, before we continue with the audience questions, can you explain how you became Hogartha? Like, that's obviously not the name you were born with, but like, how and why did you choose that particular name?
Because okay, like I stated, my grandparents raised me, and my grandfather's name is Homer, and my grandmother's name is Agatha. And when they passed away, it was just devastating to me, and it was almost like, even though when they passed away, it was devastating. It was almost like a rebirth for me. And I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? I could be me. I could be me once they're gone. They came from another generation, and while they're sweet, humble people, they weren't really into the modern way of thinking and with gender and orientation, and it was just difficult to explain it to them. But I wanted to honor them once they passed away, and I changed my name to Hogatha as a mixture of both of their names.
Oh, fair enough. So there's a question on the screen. Are you okay to answer that?
Hogatha, are you against ethno-states? Now I'm going to tell you, it's not necessarily a question, a phrase I'm used to. Ethno-states, to me, that means states of one ethnicity, like homogenous places.
Yeah, that's what that I think means. Yeah.
Are you against it? Um, well, in the United States, I am, because we're a melting pot.
Okay, so
Um,
you like the melting pot. You love that. That's part of. So you are against it. You'd rather a multiracial, multicultural type society.
yeah, yes. Life is much richer and with diversity.
Okay, this is another question. Anxious Aussie asks, did you get wig tips from Jonathon Yaniv? You have a similar hairline. I don't think that's a genuine question. Oops.
Probably not, and I don't know that person. And I'm not afraid of
No.
my hairline. And I mean, I do decide my hairline. I mean, so I obviously do it because I think it's attractive. Having a high
Yeah.
forehead is a sign of intelligence. And there was at one point in history, well, it's a
Is
sign
it
of
really?
intelligence. Whether
Oh, okay.
whether it is or not, you can look at, it's something that one could be researched. And it also used to be very in fashion at one point in history that women would shave their foreheads higher.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for the education. Let's have a look. Um, Here we go. Do Black Lives Matter?
That's from
Someone.
Naughty Design. Do
I don't know.
Black Lives Matter? Well, I would question the racism of the person asking that to even ask such a question like that. I mean, they pose it as if they don't matter. Is it okay to be white? Well, I'm white and I think it's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm, free of guilt or free of responsibility for, the privilege that I have received. But it's okay. I mean, you can't help it. Just like people can't help if they're, born black or Mexican,
Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah, you can't help how you're born, racially speaking.
No. When you get triggered, are you full
Auto.
auto or
I don't know what that
semi-auto?
means. I
Oh,
actually don't
so
know.
triggered and auto, semi-auto. It's going to the gun culture, and it's a male. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
obviously, it's obviously a male question. It, I don't even understand what guns have to do with this, but when I get triggered, it's an appropriate response to what I'm triggered over. And it is something that I'm working through. I mean, as I meet more, people, and get out there, and I do see actually the cruelty of the world. I think I was sheltered a lot, and I get out there, and I'm actually building a thick skin to people like that person who asked that question.
Mm.
Do you tell other women you are trans when you date? Well, I've been with Marquina for 5 years now. We're on this journey together, and I've never been with another woman.
Um, what's her name?
Marquina.
Marquina. Oh, that's an interesting name.
How many guns do you own? I don't own any, Philip. I don't own any.
What about this one?
It's so funny because I'm assuming that these are all Aussies, and I've
This is
never
an
been.
yeah.
I've never been. It's odd because while the United States is known to be so gun happy, I've never been asked these questions by Americans at all. It just seems
I
like
think
that.
we're more interested in the subject, I suppose, because it's not part of Australian culture to just, be able to acquire arms. It's not in our Second Amendment like it is in yours, so we're sort of more curious about it.
Okay, so you can't own a firearm as a brown female?
No, like it takes a lot of jumping over hoops, sort of thing. Like you have to like. Actually, to be honest, I don't know how someone would be able to acquire a gun right now, but I know that you can keep your guns if it's a family heirloom or if you're a military person. But as an average citizen, no, we can't. We're not allowed to have any form of weapons. In fact, we're
No,
not even allowed pepper spray.
oh, pepper spray. You know what?
Even
It's funny because we just had a robbery here at, was it Best Buy? I don't know if you have Best Buy in Australia, and somebody went in there and stole cell phones, and he actually used pepper spray as his weapon, and he got away with
oh,
it too.
good.
Um, but
Oh, he got away with it.
yeah, he got away with it. He sprayed the worker with the pepper spray. Um,
Oh, okay.
but it, depending on the state you live in the United States, depends on the gun rules, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like I live in California, and it's a strict state, but you go 2 hours east, you go to Arizona, and it's like the Wild West over there.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hogatha, were your grandparents Christian? They were Christian, yes.
they were. Do you
Yeah,
think
they
that?
were. They
Do you think they'd be proud of you right now?
um, you know what? I do because I'm happy. I'm happy,
You don't
and
seem.
well, it's it's a work in progress. It is. It's hard. I come from the bottom and I'm crawling my way up. And it's. Would you ever consider Botox? Was that for you, Dia?
Maybe I need it. I have wrinkles on my forehead. Maybe it's
Who's that?
because you have a frowny face.
No, I think you're beautiful, Latina lady. I wouldn't. I don't know why she'd say that to you. I don't think you need cosmetic procedures.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Here's another question.
Where do trans people fall on the oppression Olympics? Oh, I think I recall that name from the last question. Oh, I don't really know. I just think that's that it's not an honest question, and I can't answer that. You know, and everybody's an individual on their oppression, where they fall on the oppression scale, and there is a scale. Are
I don't
you a
know.
mud shark? I have
I
no
don't
idea what a mud shark is, and I'm sure it
know.
must be some kind of Aussie slang. I
I
don't know what
actually
that
don't know
means.
what it means either. But yeah, all right, we'll bypass that one. Let's keep going. Um, let's have a look. Do you like Harry Potter?
You know what? I've seen some of it. I think it's kind of out of my age group. But I have seen some of it, but I don't know the specific titles and everything. You know, I couldn't tell you what scenes go with what movie. You know, I've seen bits and pieces of everything.
Yeah. When you're on a mobility scooter, does every day look like a journey?
Um, well, every day is a journey anyway.
Yeah.
I don't. White people don't deserve their own country.
With a question mark.
Well, oh, they don't deserve their own country. I mean, does anybody? I mean, look, I love how this man, this white privileged man in a business suit, is asking this question as if he has anything to worry about.
That's not him. That's our Prime Minister. It's just an alias. That dude commenting isn't actually the dude. It's just a photo
Oh, it
that he's
isn't.
It's that's our Prime Minister. That's a photo of our Prime Minister. This isn't the Prime Minister is not
Would
watching us.
would that be like the president?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. White people do, but they do. I mean, you have Sweden, you have Finland, there are white countries, but they're letting immigrants in.
That's the point. They're letting immigrants in and they're overtaking, hence why I suppose some in my audience are concerned. They want the country to be homogenous like it was, because Japan is homogenous, Sudan is homogenous, Kenya is homogenous, Israel for the most part is homogenous. So then why multicultural? Why is America and New Zealand, Australia, why are they being imposed with this unwanted, unvoted uh, immigration? That's the issue, and so I suppose they're questioning you on it because they don't really get it.
Well, I mean, one might even think, maybe because people aren't breeding like they should, and people, white people tend to be very selfish and self-centered, and
Mm-hmm.
and they want to live their, great, privileged lives, and unfortunately, maybe a child, gets in the way, and they just, are just, greedy and capitalistic and just want to live their life, and maybe they're just not so into family as much as brown and black people are. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay,
Uh,
that's fair. So
what's
Kenji
your
asks, yeah, go ahead.
what's your political association, and do you think,
Who do you think?
Kenji, if I could write my own ticket, see, I'll tell you what's really irritating me about American politics is right now is, the Democrats have been, really rallying and going against, and as they should, rich old white men, right? And that since Donald Trump has been elected, they've been saying that. Now all of a sudden, Joe Biden's their man. Joe Biden is he is takes advantage of women, you know. And when is there going to be a tape of him grabbing a woman's vagina? When is that going to surface? And it's like, if I could write my ticket, it would be Kamala Harris as president, and it would be Elizabeth Warren. I can't see how an African American woman and a Native American woman could, not enhance this country.
Elizabeth Warren is not Native American, dude.
Well, see, and the funny thing is that that's always, for some reason, that's a big deal. And she has a certain percentage in her. I have a certain percentage of African in me. So I understand she could have a certain percentage of Native American. And and maybe it was part of her culture and she just thought she was. So if you think you are your whole life, I mean, aren't you really that person? I mean,
No,
you're
I
meant.
think I'm a donkey, dude. That does not make me a donkey. It's like Hogwarts all over again. This is a magic show.
But
Like,
if you're raised thinking you're something your whole life, I mean, and you follow that culture and educate yourself and
she
follow
was
its
lying.
customs,
She was just saying
and
it for virtue signaling points. It's not real.
but I just think, you know what, that would be that would really be just a real kick in the teeth to the patriarchy of this country to have both women in such positions of power. I just think, I think it would be revolutionary for women.
I suppose, but some women just shouldn't be in politics. I made a video about that actually.
Well, and I'll tell you, we do agree on that. Hillary Clinton, the funny thing is, while people wanted her so badly, and I'm not saying she would be any worse than Donald Trump, but she thought Robert Byrd was a wonderful man, and Robert Byrd was a member of, like, he was the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan,
You're
and
right. We
when
agree
he
on
died,
yeah.
when he died, she said that he was her mentor and hero,
Yes, you did.
and
You're right.
and Bill Clinton at one point belonged to a whites only country club, and
Oh,
and it's just I didn't see her as really any better. I
no.
just really liked more of her female energy, and I just think that it was time for a female, but I don't know where we would be with her, but I'll tell you, I don't think we would be having all this hate and racism if we would have elected her.
Hmm. The question is, Hogartha, was your lesbian girlfriend always female? As in, was she anatomically female upon birth?
She she is trans.
Oh my god. I did not expect that to come out of your mouth. What the hell do
Well,
you
what am I gonna? I'm sorry.
She's trans?
Yes.
So you're technically a whoa. Okay. I'm just gonna move right on. Let's have a look. Unless you are in a gun club and do gun contests or hunting. Oh wait, sorry. That's I think that's someone helping me figure out like
Oh,
um
okay.
because I don't
Oh,
know how we acquire
oh,
guns here. So that
oh,
person's
the purchase of guns. I get it.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you, I was in Texas one year, and do you know that they allow these men? It's always a man. They will have a pickup truck, and they will have a gun rack actually on their vehicle, and you could see their rifles placed on the back window of, and it's very intimidating. And it's just,
Yeah.
especially being from California, you don't see that. And I was there, and I felt very uneasy, and I was just waiting for something to happen, but they will openly carry guns, and it's just, I don't know, it's just very I think it's dangerous.
Mm.
Um and and coming from, like I said, from a state like California, I felt very threatened by it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you do on your free time? Um
Yeah.
I I do a lot of, like, internet. I watch TV.
Oh yeah. What do you like?
I do watch My 600 Pound Life. I don't know if you get that there. Um,
I
I
think
watch,
that's cable TV.
yeah, it's cable TV. But we don't really, cable TV is, you really, in the United States anyway, we only get like maybe 5 channels of free TV. Everything is cable. You have to get cable of everything else. Hogarth,
Mm.
how would you most like to change the world?
That's a good question.
They Yeah, I recognize the symbolism of their avatar. But anyway,
Oh
how
yeah, I
would I
didn't know.
change? Yeah, the Keck thing. It's, I believe, Pepe the Frog and all that. Yeah, I understand. I might be misgendered lesbian, but I'm not stupid.
You're not a
So I know.
lesbian.
I know what they're about. And how would I change the world? It would get rid of people like you, the white supremacists, the nationalists, the white nationalists. That is how we can improve the world.
Okay. So Hogartha, who are your role models and heroes?
Well, really, my grandparents were my role models and my heroes.
Oh, that's nice.
And they were, because they were there for me when and raised me. They didn't have to do that once my mother passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How many days do you work on legs? That's a
Do your
workout
legs
term.
work?
My legs do work. I just because I'm very tired and I am overweight and I could lose some weight, but but I am body positive, so I try to stay positive about my body and my shape and my form.
Yeah.
But if I did lose some weight, yeah, I could probably not be as tired all the time and probably not rely on my mobility scooter as much. But days do you work on legs? Is Hogatha going to breed? No, I'm not. I mean, I don't really see any point, especially now, bringing any kind of other life onto this planet at this point. I mean, we're not even doing anything about the environment. I mean, why would I bring someone to potentially have to live through, a doomsday scenario?
Yeah. Why do people want to move specifically to post-British colonies and away from socialist and Islamic hellholes? Do you have an answer for that?
Um, well, I'll be honest with you. The people that I know that are coming to California come through Mexico, and they tend to be.
Oh,
These are I'm sorry.
my people.
Yes, they do. I mean, and I know you said you were Colombian, and I understand that. But we get all kinds of people here. We get, just a lot of them really, and they come here, and I don't know about the socialists. I'm not sure about the socialists. I don't know if Colombia is socialist or not.
No, it actually no.
But yeah, we get Mexicans and Guatemalans and Hondurans and Nicaraguans mostly, and
Okay.
and I really don't know enough about their politics. I just know it's not working for them, and because we are a country, a free country based on immigrants, and we welcome them with open arms, and we're so rich, we can take some and absorb them, and make we could change their family tree.
Sure, I suppose.
Do,
What is your
uh,
education?
I finished high school, and I took like a year of college. I mean, people will call it 13th grade.
Yeah. Okay, so you finished year 7.
Um,
If you were
if
not trans, would you be a rich, het, old white man? I don't really know what that means.
I'm assuming they mean heterosexual.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
If
So in
you
another
were,
universe, would you
if
be a
you,
white rich?
oh, if I could choose.
I suppose.
Oh God, isn't
Is
that an
there a
odd
chance?
question? I mean,
Is there a chance that you are happy as a male and you are a rich white man and just living happily and not all of whatever this is?
well,
Hogwarts.
I'm assu- I'm assuming that to be a rich white man is basically hitting the lottery in our world. Um,
Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
I can't say if given the chance I would be. If someone handed me the winning lottery ticket and said, "Here you go," I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, I could see it. I don't think it's necessarily good. I mean, I think we should show
But it makes
wealth. I'm sorry.
it would make your life easy. You'd be happier. You
No,
wouldn't
I
be so
agree.
sad and depressed and triggered by everything I'm saying.
No, I agree. No, I agree. It would be tempting, and it'd be hard not to decline it. Yeah, if someone could hand me, here's
Yeah.
a ticket, you could have all the power in the world and be rich and wealthy and have privilege and people just, doing everything for you. Of course. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Mm.
But
There's a question.
is there more than two genders? If so, how can bisexuals exist? Jason, you know what? I think people are individuals, and I can't really say what's right for one person isn't right for another, or vice versa. I mean, I don't understand like what people. I've been asked this question before, and it's like you people ask these questions as if they think people are making things up, and it's like, why would somebody just make something up? That's what I don't understand. I mean, it
Because
is,
for sure.
but we're all special.
Exactly. So why do we need the 73 genders? Why do we need to decide on a particular day whether you are trans black or trans white or transgendered or, as you say, misgendered? We
Well,
are what God made us, male and
yep.
female. You'll probably be a fantastic man. You could have had kids. You could have been married with children. You would have such a good life. You wouldn't be stared at on the bus or on the train so much if you weren't wearing these colorful wigs. You know, you wouldn't have people snickering at you if you just conformed a little bit. You know, you're trying to be different, and in so doing you're making yourself and your life more difficult. And you, as I said, you're a lovely person. You're a big teddy bear. I can see that you've been responding relatively well to some of the snarky comments even by me. You have a lot going for you, but you're not, but you and a lot of people, I'm sorry, am I upsetting you?
No, you're just putting it. When I hear everything you're saying all together, it's really. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm living my life, and I'm actually the happiest I've ever been. So I don't
You
understand.
don't seem it. You just don't seem it.
No, I am. You should have seen me before.
Oh, okay. So the question on the screen is, I'll lighten up. I'm sorry.
um,
So this is what happens when you follow your feelings, or better still, follow your heart. Go back and get back to facts.
um,
So that's pretty much
this
what
is.
I said, only I was a little meaner.
So he left. He made a statement. That's what he did. Okay, or better
Yeah, that
still,
wasn't a
follow your go go to get back to fact. Got to get back to facts. Okay, okay. Delusional. Okay, Nick. That's your opinion, Nick.
Oh my God, insane hermit. No, I will not show you my feet. What the hell is wrong with you? What a stupid question. I don't
Is
like
that
feet. I hate.
you know what? I agree with you. I'm not a real feet person either.
Yeah, we're agreeing on a couple of things, Hogatha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't like feet. I don't like toes. Do you know how mean my friends are? What they used to
Huh.
do is, on my Facebook account, they used to put up all these feet photos just to like torture me. Ew, like that's the kind of
Oh,
friends I have.
wow. Grotesque.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So if you want to put me off, it's like anything to do with feet. My friend Margot, men who refuse to date trans women prejudice. That's a good question, because you know how that comes up a lot lately on a lot of YouTube channels, and it's always a topic of conversation. But even lefties think that it's discrimination, but I don't think it is. I think we have a preference. Like if a man prefers Asians over blonde girls, like that's just a preference. That's not like
Yeah.
a form of
You know what?
discrimination.
I I kind of think two ways about this. While I do think I think people do have preferences, and I agree that I do think that there are trans women who don't really look like women, and I think heterosexual men are attracted to biological females. But I think we can, at a point, maybe encourage men to maybe explore trans women, and maybe as far as like maybe an education. So, like the children knowing that trans women are women, and that they are an option as a mate as well as a biological woman. Oh, I think you froze again. Yeah, I can't. I don't hear anything. And now it's just a picture of me. Dia, are you there? I don't know what to do.
Are we back on?
Oh, hi. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I really do apologize for this.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
These things happen. Okay, so were you there the whole time? Were you there the whole time, or did it disconnect for you as well?
No, I could see myself, and I was just waiting. I could see the question, and you were frozen.
My apologies. Well, are men who refuse to date trans women prejudiced?
I don't think they're prejudiced. I don't think I don't. I can concede that I don't think they're prejudiced. I just think that they're maybe hardwired to biological females. I mean, but I think at some point we can introduce two heterosexual men, maybe at a high school level, and then gradually work down that trans women are viable women, and they can have relationships with them as well.
Okay. Let's see what other. Hang on, I just need to get a cushion. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I've had to move. Oops. I've had to move from where I was because I think I'm closer to the router now, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a look. Let's go up. I missed a few questions. I hope I didn't offend you too much earlier.
No, it's, and if anything, it's a great exercise. It's, this is the second interview I've done, and I know it's not always going to be pleasant to answer questions.
Okay. Yeah. Do you eat meat?
No,
Please
I don't.
tell me you're a vegan.
I am a vegan. I quit eating meat probably 3 years ago. And what I had some really horrible effects. It really affected my skin, and I believe honestly that it was a karmatic punishment for the flesh I had eaten all these years. But my skin is actually clearing up. It really went through a really bad cystic a moment, but it's getting better. But yeah, I stay away from meat and gluten and all of that, the bad stuff that we know of.
I didn't hear any of what you said, but I think the audience did hear it, so that's all that matters. You're frozen at the moment.
Am I?
Oh no, you're not. You're not. Sorry,
Okay.
it's not usually this bad.
No, it's okay.
Let me have a look. I'm sort of further up in the chat because other people have been. Let's have a look. They're talking about my feet, so I shouldn't have told them that I don't like feet because I just gave them ammunition for no reason. Hang on. Apparently, I'm a frozen snowflake. I don't know how I'm a snowflake, but okay. I don't really get offended that easily, but okay, I'm a snowflake. Oh, here's a question.
A $5 from Aaron. Hogatha, do you realize what socialist left regimes have done to LGBTI? Think pink triangle.
I don't know what pink triangle is.
I don't know what pink triangle is, and I've never advocated for socialism. I mean, I explore. Oh, thank you. Oh, Jackie, thank you.
I thought I'd give you a bit of a pick me up because
I know. I mean, really, yeah.
So yeah, a bit of love from Jackie Garrett for you. Good old Huggy.
But I don't necessarily disagree with some socialist aspects, but I don't think I'm here to defend socialism as a whole. I don't. Yeah, there's been a couple of those questions.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, there's a dark side to everything, really. There's a dark side to socialism, capitalism. We know that. I don't.
Okay, hang on, I'm going down.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think that's done for the questions. It doesn't appear to me that. Oh, here we go. Aren't people entitled to their dating preferences?
Yes, they are. They are, and I agree with you there. I just think as a culture we can maybe, because we're kind of, and we're starting to break these barriers within the public education of introducing, gay and trans history and things like that. And I think the more kids get educated on how these populations exist, they could see that also as a place for them to go and find a mate. They don't have to exclusively just shop in the biological female aisle. They can now shop in the trans aisle or non-binary aisle. Okay, Jason, is it wrong to abort a child if you could find out that they were gay or trans and that was the reason for the abortion? Well, isn't the world full of what ifs, Jason, really? No, I don't think that we could. I don't think that it would be right to abort merely on orientation, ethnicity, sex. No, that's what eugenics really. No, I don't agree with that.
So you don't agree with abortion on a particular condition, even though your parents wanted to abort you.
Yes, and I don't know why. My mother, she didn't know who my father was, so I don't know on what grounds. I just think it's she just wasn't ready to be a mother. Hound on Heart asked a good question. Did Hogatha adopt any beliefs from her Christian grandparents? Benjamin, I believe in the golden rule. And and I don't know if you can attribute that to Christian values. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of religions have the same kind of golden rules, really. But no, I believe being kind to others and being honest and helpful, to your fellow humans. Yes, we can see how beautiful. Whose skin? Mine? Well, my skin. Well, I'll ignore the pronoun.
Your he.
My skin
Your
was
skin. I think they're commenting on your skin.
It used to be a lot worse. It's getting a lot better. If you could
What
have
was
seen it,
that?
I don't know. I don't know if Margot has seen me before, but yes, my skin is doing a lot better.
Do you have a skin condition?
I have rosacea, but I was getting cystic acne because of, I believe, my diet. The meat. Hello? Can you hear me? I can see you. Can you hear me?
I don't.
Daya?
I can hear you, but you're not moving.
I'm moving back and forth right now.
Can you see me and hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can see now. Yeah, you can move your face further back from the camera. Thank you. Did you say you had a skin condition? I didn't hear the whole thing.
I have rosacea.
What does that mean?
Do you know it's red irritated skin. Sometimes you get little bumps and stuff, and it's just very irritated and broken capillaries and stuff.
I can't hear anything.
And I've had people ask me, why don't you cover it up? And I don't believe in covering it up. It looks like blush to me, so I think it's pretty.
You can't help your skin condition.
No, and I'm not going to cover it up.
You can't help your skin condition.
No. I'm not a trans. I think there's a miscommunication. I'm not a trans woman. I'm a misgendered woman. I don't require hormones, and I'm not doing surgeries or anything. I am a woman, and I don't know how else to explain that. But I'm not trans. I'm not turning into something that I'm not. I think in my mind, that's what trans means. You're turning into something
that you're misgendered, correct?
Yes. Do you like Antifa? I'll tell you, Insane Hermit. I can't say that I completely agree with everything that Antifa does, but that seems to be the only force that is fighting against the Nazis and the fascists. So, when people feel like their life is on the line and they're being assaulted and being erased, sometimes you have to fight hate with violence. And I'm not saying that that's ideal, but really, if you could go punch the devil in the face, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry. One of my commenters just sent me a horrible photo of feet.
Ugh, they just want to torture you.
All right. Let's have a look. I think we're gonna. Yeah, they're just being silly. I think we're gonna have to wrap up simply because I can't see you. You're not moving. You're frozen again, and
Okay.
Let's just have a look. Can you move? No, yeah, it's not working.
Is it? I moved really. I moved up closer.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's you. I think it's my internet, and this doesn't usually happen when I do it from Melbourne. Oh yeah, I can see you. You're right in front of the camera now. All right. Well, look, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I also want to let everyone know the fact that Hogartha actually woke up super early this morning to do this interview at it's now probably 4:45 a.m. there or something. So you woke up at 3 a.m. So I really appreciate your efforts today, and I hope I wasn't too harsh on you. And I really appreciate the fact that you came on, and I will put all of your links in the description box below. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to say I appreciate you bringing me here. Anytime I can really get my voice out there in a positive light and let people see that there are normal people out here with alternative lifestyles. I just think, yeah, anytime. I really will jump to the chance at any time to get up, even at 3 a.m. to educate people. So thank you for this opportunity.
Well, I mean, no worries at all. You went out of your way to wake up super early. By the way, guys, the way I met Hogartha was through Unframe of Mind,
Yes.
the YouTube line. So they're a great channel. They deserve to have a lot more subs than what they get. So please subscribe to their channel. Hogartha, after this interview, if you want to give me all your links, I'll put them in the description box below so that people can follow you as well, so that you can, I don't know, get your message out there or whatever it is. My eyes look so weird. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and God bless you, and I hope he can heal you because you need it. And again, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries. It's nice to see you smiling. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm just going to end the broadcast. Hang on a sec.